My name is Kiefer. My pronouns are he and him. I am a white person with blonde hair, and I'm wearing glasses and a blue and green striped shirt. My background is my apartment in Portland, Oregon, on unceded Clackamas and Cowlitz land. I am here with the playwriting cohort, but the excerpt I will be reading is from a novel in progress, tentatively titled Into What Dark? The novel follows a young man and his boyfriend as they run away together and attempt to escape their small mountain town during wildfire season in the American West. The young man's name is Kanan, and his boyfriend's name is Henry. In the novel's opening chapters, Kanan and Henry are stopped at a mountain pass by an out-of-control blaze. Uh, it's at this point that the novel splits. The young men are separated, journeying over the mountain, following each other, and trying to find each other again. This section begins after that split. Dreams spin around Kanan in an endless looping procession. He is the pin in the center of a whirling universe. For hours, nothing makes sense. Then his dreams begin to taste like lager and stale cigarette smoke and dusty pine carried in on cold air. Beneath his feet, he can feel the crunch of peanut shells and corn chips, and the way slushing snow packs into the treads of your boots until you stand on a numb pack of ice, flat-footed in the doorway, shaking snow from your hair, looking for Henry. Noise of a crowd, noise of a guitar amp being plugged in, feedback. The depth of the bar is a murky wooden cave, lit only by green glass lamps that hang low and unwashed over billiard tables. Rough planked walls tacked with photocopies of homemade posters that advertise local bands, each one forgotten and crumbling back into pulp. And flaring under red stage light across from the bar, a roadie in black turns away and tries to listen hard enough to put a guitar in tune. Then suddenly Kanan sees Henry far across and beyond the crowd, the distance impossible to gauge in the dim light. Henry stands in a corner, half hidden by the radial shine of a jukebox, and he shifts his weight to lean back against the wall. A nearly full beer bottle sweats condensation over his fingers, and absently he shakes them, flinging the water off in an iridescent shower. Unaware of Kanan, he looks at the floor, at the sawdusted and stringy chewing gum caked into the floorboards, and it is like this, unwatched, that his face becomes more beautiful than before, and in that beauty terrifying, the way a storm at sea is a magnificent horror because of its being far and alone. When Kanan sees Henry, it is like glimpsing land. The house lights go off. But in the doorway, stamping snow from his boots, Kanan sees nothing but Henry in the glow of the jukebox, and the bottle in his hand, and the way webbed ligaments spring outward from his wrist and splay across the backs of his hands to hold the brown glass bottle in the glow of the jukebox. And then Henry looks up and sees him. And when their eyes meet, every sound drops away, replaced by a thick velvet quiet. Not until he steps forward does Kanan realize what surrounds him. Filling the bar between Kanan and Henry is a labyrinth of men, tall as anything and ramrod straight and completely motionless, a maze of statues, standing solid in groups around barrel tables as if poured in concrete, and clenching their fists, enormous frothing pints midair. Their skin, where it shows beyond shirt collars and pearl button cuffs, is a clotted amber rind. Nothing moves. Eyes sticking dead in their sockets as though extracted and reset with cold marbles. Kanan walks between them, bewildered and afraid, and with every step toward Henry, he can hear the rotten metal sound of the guitar tuning louder and louder, and it fills his head until he can't stand it, and he reaches out to keep from falling. But the floorboards beneath him, laid end to end and slick with spilled beer, the floorboards seem to move as he moves, carrying him backward toward the door. He feels his throat contract as if to cry out, and he looks across to Henry for help. But what he sees there, behind Henry, the ground itself has begun to give way, to open up. As a sinkhole opens up, the floor and concrete and dirt all crumbling away. falling down and down into black emptiness, and Henry raises his hand to wave him over as if nothing is wrong, and the sinkhole opening wider and wider until it threatens Henry's footing, and Henry stumbles backward, and Kanan running hard for him, and the distance between them stretching and stretching, no matter how hard he tries to cover it. Henry falls, and before either of them can scream, Kanan wakes up. Thank you so much.